Okay, so good morning. Thank you for being here this morning. We are ready for some Pilates Flow. So today we're going to be using one cushion just for one exercise. So just have that off to the side. And also if you're in a hard surface, just making sure that you've got, I use this little pad or your cushion would work just fine too, but something for under your knees for when we're in all fours, okay? So let's get started. Just start to roll through your shoulders, shoulder blades, and just waking up that upper back. And let's go the other way as well. Just rolling around through the shoulder blades. And then let's take those hands out and behind you, clasping your hands. And then squeeze the shoulder blades back. So you're leading with your sternum. Just enjoying that stretch. Let's let the chin float up to the ceiling. You might feel a nice big pull through the front of your neck. And just continue to gently squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Sometimes I reach my knuckles to the floor. But this stretch can be intense, so just go with what feels right this morning. And one more breath there. Release the hands gently, bring the head back in line. And let's start with some big arm circles. Out, start to create a line of tension through the arms, reaching energy through the tips of your fingers. And start to connect with your belly button just a little bit. So keep the rest of your body really still and just move through the shoulders. And let's go back as well, backwards. Feeling that openness through the collarbone, openness in the front of the shoulder. And one more there, floating the arms out in front of you. Palms are facing in. We're going to take one arm, pull it back like bow and arrow, like you're bending at the elbow. Pull back, rotate, look over your shoulder. Get a nice rotation through the thoracic spine. And then reach that arm back out in front of you. And the other side, pulling back. So there's a tug of war between the fingertips of your front hand and the elbow of your back arm. And back through center. And again, pulling back, other side, twisting around the belly button, looking over your shoulder. And reaching forward, and then again pulling back, and reaching forward. Let's bring the arms out like you're holding two platters, one in each hand. We're just going to gently start to pulse the pinky fingers forward. So I'm moving like this, yeah, and it's small. And you're just really engaged through the arms. So it's up to you to find that little line of tension that's running from the fingertips of one hand straight through your body to the fingertips of the other hand. We're just pulsing the arms. Can you bring your belly button in just a little bit more? Push your feet into the floor. Make sure there's a little micro bend in your knees. And we're just going to stay here for a moment and get our arms nice and warm. And then let's pause there. Bend at the elbows, drag your elbows into your side. So we're creating like a little W shape here. And now reach those arms out into a Y shape. Pulling down into a W. And reaching out to the Y shape. And imagine you're moving through water here, slowing down your motions and pushing against the air. Pulling in. Find those underarm muscles, reach it out. Last one, pull it in and hold. Draw those elbows right towards the hips. Really give them a nice squeeze. And releasing that. Shaking it off. All right, coming into the center of your mat, or you might be able to be in the top quarter of your mat, okay? And we're just going to come into a little strong stance or a half squat. Hands can come to heart center. And we're going to come into this half squat. So there should be a little tiny bit of work in your legs, but nothing too extreme. Notice that my spine is really long, and let's lift the abdominals here, drawing them in towards you. We're gonna take our right leg and step it back, and just watch me for a second. We're stepping back so that our feet, we're now perpendicular. So we've opened the hip, and we've got one foot going straight on, one foot out perpendicular, okay? And then we're gonna step back, and we're gonna go with the other leg, stepping open at the hip, and then back to our stance here. Stepping back and coming to center. The legs stay bent the whole time, so we're not gonna stand tall. We're just alternating between legs, opening and coming back to center. Kind of like you're opening a door. And back. And back to center. Getting a nice opening through the hip, keeping the core with you as you move through these motions. Whenever you step back, your feet are perpendicular to each other. We're just getting a little blood flow through the body here. The legs should start to feel a little warm. Nice work. Keep breathing. And we've got one more on each leg. Stepping out and back. And last one, we're gonna come and meet me in that little half squat. Can we sit our sit bones back a little bit more and take our chair pose, floating the arms above your head. If the arms above the head bothers you, bring them back to your heart center. Let's pulse here. Take the weight out of your toes into your heels, and we're doing tiny little pulses. And let's lengthen out the breath. Big inhales, long exhales. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand tall. Legs should be warm. Let's step back to the end of your mat now so that we have room to walk out into our downward dog. Nod the chin, draw in through the abdominals, and let's roll down. First one this morning, take your time. Rolling down into your forward fold. Lift your sit bones, lift your abdominals. Breathing here. Little bend in the knees, start to scoop in up through the belly, and let's ragdoll back to standing. Take your time, the head and shoulders are last to come up. When you get to the top, you're gonna roll those shoulders back. And let's go back down, nod through the chin. Soften the sternum, lift the abdominals, and just take your time on the way down. When we get down here, let's grab onto opposite elbows. Keep your abdominals connected and gently sway your body side to side. Let's just undo the chin a little bit so the chin has space between the chest and the chin. And we're just very gently going side to side. Really plant your feet down here. And then let's let those arms drop, and let's just shake the arms. Just wiggle your arms. And then let the arms come still and just nod your chin, yes. And then shake your head, no. We're walking our hands out to our first downward dog. So planting all the fingers down, use the entire surface of your palm. Lift your sit bones, find the triangle shape that works for you. And then let's start to pedal out the feet really slow. Starting your pedaling really, really slow. Take your time moving through the ankle. Especially in the morning, our feet can be really tight, our calves are really tight. And let's bring both heels up. So we're on both toes of the feet. And then press your heels down towards the floor. Very gentle here, holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do a little check. Are your palms still pressing into the floor? Pinky fingers included. Let's pedal out just a little longer here. Try to keep your feet really parallel. You might get a little snapping through the ankles, especially in the morning. And let's just check in. Are the abdominals lifting? And let's bring both heels up again. We're up on our toes, very, very gently pressing the heels towards the floor. Lift the sit bones to the ceiling. Push the floor away with your hands. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that tension. Pedal out. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale. Let's walk ourselves out to our plank. Now, if you need to put a knee down, you're going to just bring it down nice and square, keeping everything else going exactly the same. Let's reach energy through the heels, through the top of the head, squeezing the glutes just a little bit, finding your abdominals, drawing them up and close. And we're holding here. Big inhales and big exhales. Big inhale. Press all the fingertips down. Exhale. One more time. Exhale. Let's lower our knees and take a shell stretch or a child's pose. Round your spine over your thighs. Let your head rest on the floor. And take a few nice long breaths there. I think we're sufficiently warm. I hope we are. And let's come out to our all fours position. So really planting the entire palm of your hand. Use all your fingers here and dig your fingertips into the floor just a little. So you've got a little grip into your mat, okay? Knees are under hips, hands are under shoulders. We're going to come right away into our bird dog. Let's go right arm, left leg, taking a deep breath in. The spine stays the same shape as we reach our arms and leg away from each other. Exhale. Inhale, place it all down. Other side. Exhale, reach. Inhale, coming in. Now the spine is going to want to curl down or flex forward. We're going to keep the spine reaching as we move between these two positions. Exhale out. Inhale back. We want to keep the belly button drawing up towards you, away from the mat. And we're squeezing the glute and reaching through the leg as we lift it. And back. And see if you can eliminate any rotation that might be happening as we go from side to side. Keeping the belly button in the center of all this movement. Can you make your neck a little bit longer? So the shape of your torso is staying exactly the same. These are our last two. 1, coming back, and 2. Now I'm just going to show a modification here. The modification for this next exercise is just to continuously be lowering and lifting the knees in a hover. Okay? That's the modification. The full exercise looks like this. We'll be hovering up through the knees, stepping out to our plank, coming back in, knees still hovering, and then lowering down to touch. So we're just adding on that step out if you're taking the full exercise. Let's reach through the crown of the head, make your neck long. Engage the arms into the mat, so you're pressing your hands into the mat, your pinky fingers especially. And let's exhale, hovering the knees up a couple of inches. Take a breath and let's step out to our plank, reaching through the heels. Step back to that square position and lower down. Big breath in at the bottom. Exhale, lifting the knees and stepping back. Finding that perfect plank, lift the abdominals, squeeze the glutes. Walk back to your square position and lower the knees. And again, exhaling up, stepping it out. Keep pushing down through the fingertips, coming back in and lowering down. We have 3 more rounds. Hover, step it out, pull it back in, keep the abdominals close and lower down. And up, stepping it out, bring it back in and lowering down. And last one, up into the hover, stepping it out. Let's hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Walk the knees back in. We're still hovering. And lower the knees. Let's take a shell stretch. Nice work, you guys. Arms should be warm. Wrists might be a little tender. Let's just turn the wrists. Little circles with your wrists. Luckily, we're just coming out to our forearms next, so we won't need those wrists as much. Your elbows are right under your shoulders. Plant the entire surface of your palm down, including your forearm. Lift your tummy so your bum feels like it's way up in the air. Now, if your knees are tender, make sure you've got something under the knees here to protect them. We're coming into our donkey kick. We're going to keep the leg nice and square as we lift the sole of your foot up to the ceiling. Exhale up, inhale down. Now we're staying in the center of the standing knee and keeping equal weight in the arms. Pressing it up and down. You can tap the floor with your knee or just bring it down to a hover, whatever feels right for you. Our goal here is once again to keep the belly button lifting away from the mat. Keep everything still as we just move through the hip here. Squeezing the glute at the top, lowering down, and down. Can we all press up through the elbows and get a little stronger in our shoulders? And let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and on this last one, let's hold it up there. The sole of your foot shining up to the ceiling. 10 little pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Take your shell stretch. Take a breath. Big exhale. We're setting back up on our forearms. And we're going to bring that leg into that bent position. And exhale as you press up. And down. And we want to keep the torso nice and stacked. The ribs are right over the hips. The neck is long. The head is reaching here. Can you press down through the arms into the floor, keeping the shoulders lifted? Once we get tired, there's lots of tendency to want to sink into our shoulders. So we want us to stay really strong here. Exhale up, inhale down. And back. Finding your glute every single time, squeezing up and down. Let's go for 5 more. 5, 4, 3. Keep lifting the abdominals. 2. And last one, we're holding. 10 little pulses here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that go. Nice work, you guys. Take a breath. We're almost done with this shoulder stuff. We just have one more thing, and it's going to actually feel really good. Now, everyone's going to come into our plank, okay? So finding your plank, we won't be here long, I promise. Reach through the heels, reach through the crown of the head, lift the abdominals to bring up the center. And let's step the right foot forward into a lunge. So we're just bringing that foot forward, lowering the back knee, and opening up into a nice big rotation. You could tip the leg, this front leg, out onto the edge of the foot, if that feels good. We're stretching here. Just enjoying that. Hopefully feeling a little bit of action right in that area under the bum where we just worked with our donkey kicks. And then let's come back through our plank. Hand comes down. When you're ready, you're gonna step that foot back, find a perfect plank, and then the left leg comes forward, lower the right knee, and we're into a big rotation the other way. If you want to tip that leg out onto the edge of the foot, that feels good. And back through center. Let's do one more on each side. Finding your plank, reach through the heels, and then the right foot forward, lower the back knee into our big rotation. Eyes follow the top hand here. And then back through your plank. Last plank, I promise. And then through on the left leg. Rotate up. Awesome. Enjoy that stretch. Take one more big, deep breath there. And release that, bringing that leg in. Let's just take one more shell stretch. Open the thighs. Let your head rest. Let your tailbone drop towards your heels. Just notice all the warmth in your body so far. Probably feeling our glutes a little bit. And flipping all the way over onto your back. Okay, so feet are planted, knees are bent, arms are at your side. Let's just roll through our imprint, find your imprint, closing up the space between you and the mat. And then rock the pelvis back to neutral, nice and flat through the front of your pelvis. And this is just a tiny little massage of your lower spine. And then rocking through. Try to keep the legs and glutes quiet as we use our obliques to move the pelvis. And let's let that pelvis settle down in its neutral position. So a little bit of space between you and the mat. Hands come behind the head and clasp your fingers right behind your head. We're coming into our ab preps. Plant your feet. Nod through the chin gently. Exhale, flex up just to look at your thighs. It's just the upper body. Inhale, hold. And exhale, lower the head and shoulders. Keeping the chin gently tucked. Let's go back up. Exhale, flexing up. Inhale, hold. Nothing changes in the lower back. And we come back down. This time we're going to stay up. Gently nod, flexing up. Inhale, reach the arms out beside you. Exhale, back to the head. And inhale, lowering the head. Nod the chin and flex. Reach the arms, inhale. Exhale, back to the head. And lowering down. 2 more like that, flexing up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back. Check that your space underneath your lower back stays the same throughout. And let's flex up. And reach. And back. And lowering down. This time, keeping the hands behind the head, we flex up. We're going to start to alternate, lifting our legs to tabletop. You're staying gently flexed. It's just the upper body. The lower back stays the same throughout. Exhale, bring a leg up. Think about softening the rib cage and the sternum to flex up a little higher. Exhale, leg up. Inhale, leg down. One more each side. And let's let that head and shoulders come down. Awesome. Let's just shake that off. Let's turn the neck side to side. And imprinting the spine, closing up that space, bringing the legs to tabletop. Hands go back behind the head when you're ready. We're coming up into some obliques. We're going to move quite slowly though. Okay, so stick with my pace. Not through the chin, and we're flexing up now to look at the knees. Rotating across, one leg reaches and through center. The other leg reaches, we rotate the sternum the other way. And back. Rotate and reach and back. Rotate and back. Now if this isn't working for you, you're going to keep your head down and just work with the legs. That would be your modification here. Can we all flex up just a little higher? One more each side. Elbows are wide. Come to center. Lower the head. Open the arms. So your arms are out to the side now. Your palms are facing up. Let's push the arms into the floor behind you. You're still in imprint. And we're going to start our toe taps. So the legs are now moving down away from you and tapping the toe. Let's keep those legs the exact same shape throughout. Okay, this is our lowest part of our abdominals. And we're breathing deeply. Inhale and exhale. Gently pushing the lower back into the mat to stay supported. Can we drop our belly button down towards the spine just a little bit? Toes are pointing down, tapping and returning. Great job, we're almost there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your knees in, give them a hug. Let's roll around on the lower back. Just give it a little massage. We're almost done with this imprint work. Bringing the hands back behind the head. Let's bring the heels together and the toes apart. Okay, so we're still in this bent knee. We're going to flex up, and as we do, the legs are going to reach out long. Nod the chin, flex up, reach the legs up. Inhale, lower the head, bring the knees back to bent. Keeping the heels together. And back. So we've got our toes pointing out. We're flexing up, squeezing our inner thighs, and pushing those legs out long. They don't have to go low. Mine are going quite high up to the ceiling. Exhale, flex, squeeze the inner thigh. You're creating a little V shape with your feet. And we're nicely imprinted. The modification here would be to keep your head down and just work with the legs. Let's do 4 more. Last 2. And last 1. Great work, you guys. Grab those knees and once again give them a nice big hug. I know you're feeling your hip flexors. I'm feeling mine too. We're going to fix that in just a second. So grab that cushion. Hopefully it's nearby. And plant your feet back down, finding a nice neutral pelvis. So you might need to just shake it off, roll through your pelvis a couple of times to find neutral again. And let's take that cushion and put it right between your knees. You want to have a nice solid grip on it, and it can come up into your thighs as well, okay? Let's make those arms wide again, palms facing up, so a nice T shape through the arms. And bring your heels in towards your bum just a little bit more. We're rolling up into our bridge, holding this cushion between the thighs. Roll through imprint and peel your spine off until you're in your shoulder bridge. We're up in the air, holding this cushion between our knees. Big breath in here. Exhale, place your spine back down, one vertebra at a time. Keep squeezing that cushion. Take your time here. Placing the spine back down, rock the pelvis back to its neutral place. Big breath in. Exhale, roll it up. Come through imprint, and then each vertebra articulates up into this bridge. Let's drop the belly button down into the spine, holding here in this bridge, and then taking our time going back down, noticing every vertebra along the way. Back down. This time we're staying up. Take a big breath in, roll up. We're going to stay up here in this bridge. We're squeezing our cushion for 20 counts. Big breath in, little pulses. You're going to be squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Okay, big inhale, exhale. Here we go. There's 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Check in, drop the belly button, and let's roll our spine back down to the mat. Find a neutral pelvis. Take a second, take some of the pressure off the inner thighs. We're going back up. Big breath in, roll it up. Drop the belly button down, so we want to have work on both sides of the body here. The abs are on, the glutes are on. We're squeezing 20 counts. Here we go. Breathing out for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a big breath in. Roll the spine back to the mat. All the way down, release some tension off those inner thighs. We have one more round. Roll it up. Check that you have that work going on both sides of you. And here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17. Keep breathing. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here in this bridge. Legs are nice and warm. And let's articulate back down. Super slow. Taking your time back to the mat. And then release that. Remove the pillow. Let's come to butterfly, letting the thighs go open, feet together, knees apart. Take the palms of your hands and push them gently into the tops of your thighs, like you're trying to push your legs away from your torso. And just breathe there for a second, enjoying that. And let's bring the feet wide so your pinky toes are off the mat on each side, and roll through some of your windshield wipers. Dropping one thigh in, the other thigh tips out to the side. Awesome. All right, and then let's release that. Turn to your side. And coming up all the way through to your knees. And again, if you need cushioning, you grab your cushion. I'm going to take one under my knees to protect them. And we're going to be coming out to up into our high knee position, and let's take the right leg out to the side. So one knee is down, one leg is long. And we're going to be tipping over onto our bottom hand. So important to protect your wrist here, okay? We want the wrist pretty much directly under the shoulder, give or take. And that top hand is going to come behind the head. So here we are in this weird position. Plant your pinky toe down and make sure you keep the whole sole of your foot on the floor. You're going to exhale, rotate your face down to look at your hand. And inhale, open back up. Exhale, rotate down, look at your hand. And inhale, opening up. Now, let's just tune in to what's going on in the center of the body. Your belly button is pulling in nice and close to your spine, and we're just twisting the upper body around your belly button, and we open. Exhale, rotate down, and inhale, open. We're almost done with this. 2 more. Exhale, twist. Inhale, open. And last one, getting nice mobility through the upper back. We're going to stay open here, lifting the leg to float. So now we've got just the bottom knee and the bottom hand on the mat. We're going to kick this foot forward a little. Show the sole of your foot forward. Point your toe and pull it back. Kicking it forward and pulling it back. It's going to feel smaller than you think. Kicking it forward and pulling it back. And we bring our abdominals in just a little more. Really nice and still everywhere but this hip. Kicking it forward and pulling it back. You've got this. 3 more. Forward and pull back. We shouldn't be wobbling around. Everything is really solid. Pull back. Last one. Forward. Pull back and be neutral little circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let that go, you guys. Great work. Let's just shake it out. You might need to turn your wrists again. And we're going to go off to the other side. So plant your left foot down, make sure the pinky toe is connected, and we're tipping over to the other side. My fingertips are pointing straight up. Everyone's a little different, so just find what works. Make sure that your shoulder feels secure, no pinchiness in the shoulder. Okay, and then from here, bringing that hand behind your head. Exhale as you rotate down. Look at your hand and open back up. And again. And open. And just think about this. We're getting great mobility through the thoracic spine here, through the rib cage. And our pelvis is staying relatively still. There might be a little bit of movement, but it's not much. We're twisting around the belly button. Let's all draw in just a little closer. And open. Let's go for about 4 more. Keep pushing the floor away with your entire hand, including your fingertips. And last 2. Think about the muscles under the armpit. Awesome work. We open up and we bring this top leg to float. Before you get started, just solidify everything, draw in through your tummy. We gently kick the leg forward, point your toe, and pull back. And again. Try to keep that leg reaching and lifted, like you're trying to make it longer the entire time. Kicking the leg forward. This one's much harder for me. And pulling back. Keep pushing the floor away here. Support your wrist by digging your fingertips into the floor. And forward. You guys look great. Pull it back. Let's go for 4 more. 1. Let that go. Whew. Coming off, shake it out. Turn your wrists. Roll your shoulders. We're almost there, guys. Take that cushion out. Coming down onto your tummy now. Let the legs go a little bit wider than hip width apart here. The hands are going to rest under the head so you can breathe. Your nose is just gently hovering. And just wiggle your hips until they feel like they release a little bit and get heavy into the mat. If it feels good, let your feet turn out just a little. Okay. Take a couple breaths here. When in prone position or face down position, to find your abdominals, you have to draw upwards, like you're trying to pull your belly button away from the mat. Okay? We're going to float the arms and the head with this one. So as you come up, you're going to bring your arms with you into a little bit of extension. We're going to open the arms, come back to the head, and lower down. That's the move. So engage through the legs, point your toes and reach energy through the legs, lift the abdominals, squeeze the glutes. Big breath in, exhale, float the head and shoulders, bring the arms with you. Inhale, open the arms to a T shape. Come back to your forehead and inhale, lower down. Big breath in the bottom. Exhale, float the head and shoulders. Inhale, open the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, back to the forehead. Inhale, we lower the head down. Exhale, float it back up. Squeeze the middle back. Inhale, reach the arms wide. Exhale, back. And we lower. Now check in with your legs, check in with your glutes. Lift your tummy, we're back up. The abdominals stay connected the entire time here. Back to the head and lower down. Exhaling up. Keep squeezing the glutes, reaching through the legs. Back to the head and lowering down. 2 more times. Exhale, flex up. Chest is lifted. Reaching the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades. Back to the head. And we lower down. And last one, up. Reaching the arms. Now we're going to bend our elbows into a W shape. We're going straight into our full breaststroke. Exhale, dive the arms over the head. Inhale, sweep the arms to your side, lifting the head and shoulders, looking forward just a little. Bend the elbows. Exhale, dive. Inhale, sweep around, bend the elbows and dive back down. Sweeping through the water, bend the elbows and dive. Your legs are on, your abdominals are on. Every time you come up, check in with those 2 things. If you're feeling your lower back, you're lifting too high. Squeeze your glutes more. Sweeping around, 3 more. Like you're diving into a pool. Pulling up, squeeze the shoulder blades, last one. Lower your head and shoulders, release the tension, wiggle your hips, and take a couple of deep breaths there. Keeping the head on the hands. Bring your legs parallel now so that your kneecaps are facing down. Keep the toes gently pointed, and we're coming into some leg lifts. Lifting the right leg into the air. Inhale, lowering it down. So the leg stays nice and straight, and we move from the hip. And we're just alternating between right and left. Lifting the leg. It's going to feel like a hover more than a lift. Exhaling up, inhaling down. And let's change our pattern. We're going to go up, up, and now both legs for 2. Both legs hover, lower, both up, and lower. Now it's back to singles. 1, 1. And doubles for 2. Reach through the legs to hover them up, squeezing at the glute. Single. Single. Double for 2. Squeeze and hover. Squeeze and hover. Single. Single. Keep lifting your abdominals a little closer to you. Double. Double. Last set here. Single leg. Single leg. And both for 2. Let your legs go wide. Let's bring the arms out wide. We're going to come into some starfish. Take a big breath, reach through your spine, lift your tummy, and then exhale. Hover the arms and the legs. The nose floats up just an inch, and then we lower everything down. Big inhale. Exhale, float everything. And lower. And again, if you're feeling your lower back a lot here, you're probably lifting a little too high and not engaging the abs enough. So we really have to stay connected with the belly button underneath you here to support your lower back. Our limbs are heavy, so we need a solid center. Starfish up and down. And down. We're going to challenge you coming up into your starfish. Put just the arms down, keep the legs up. Bring the arms up, lower the legs. Bring the legs up, lower the arms. Bring the arms up, lower the legs. Arms and legs. Arms. I'm confused now. Arms and legs. And last one, arms and legs. Take a second, hands come back underneath your head. Breathing. When you're ready, we're pushing all the way through to shell stretch. Let's let the thighs go wide. Head rests. It's going to feel really nice to come out of that extension into some flexion. Breathe like you're trying to puff up your lower back with air. And let's take our hands off to the left and then pull the right hip back behind you, getting a nice big stretch through the side body. Try to keep the shoulders out of the ears here. And walking your hands through center to the other side, nice big side bend. Pull the left hip back. And then coming through center, back up to all fours. And let's drag the right leg under us to find a pigeon stretch. So just pulling that right knee under you, and then you can either stay on your hands or come down to your forearms. And we're just getting into our rotators there, into piriformis, our glutes a little bit. And let's reach the long leg back. So you're increasing the length of the long leg as well, the hip. And just enjoy that stretch. Let's breathe deeply into any tension that you feel. And one more big deep breath there. Coming back onto your hands, let's switch legs. One might feel much tighter than the other. Finding that little pigeon, drawing that knee up and under you, and then taking whichever works for you up on the forearms or up on the wrists. Everyone's going to be a little different here. Breathe into your lower back, breathe into your hip. This stretch can be intense. Can you reach that long leg back a little? Awesome. Gently coming out of that. Let's come to back, seated on our cushion. Throw that cushion under your bum. And come into a wide leg. It doesn't have to be extreme. Just a little bit of wide leg. Let's make our spine really, really tall here first. So reach up through the crown of your head, squeeze your shoulder blades back, bring the abdominals in, get really, really tall. And then start to walk your hands out in front of you, bringing that long spine with you. And then point your toes up to the ceiling, finding hamstrings and calves. And then root down through your sit bones and let your spine lengthen forward. Again, we're breathing into our lower back. We're staying a little bit connected in the abdominals here to support the spine. See if you can make your neck a little longer, releasing some tension out of the shoulders. Notice the backs of your legs. And start to connect with your belly just a little, start to draw inwards, and then very, very slowly start to drag your fingertips into the floor, back towards your legs. So we're going to stack our spine back up. Take your time here. And letting that spine reach tall. Nice work. Roll your shoulders. And you guys are all finished. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a good workout. Please let me know any feedback, any comments, any concerns. Have a great day, you guys. Enjoy Tuesday. See ya.